Good morning and welcome to MolyFit Live with me, Molly. Exciting news, we've got a new partner. So we've partnered up with Letchworth Manor Pharmacy. So if you're in the Letchworth area, you can go in there and you can get a free copy of my book to help with fall prevention. And as the weeks go on, I'll be in the store as well doing a few things. So I'll keep you posted all about that. So we're on week 7 and today is all about your chest. Now, after core, to me, core is the most important thing to keep you upright. But after that, your chest is the next best thing. And the reason for that is the chest, it's a massive muscle. There's your sternum, so your breastbone, and it starts from your sternum and it runs all the way across this big muscle here, all the way over the shoulder and attaches in the upper arm, okay? It's a whopper. And when it tightens up, it does this. It pulls the arms forward so the arms hang off the neck. It makes you stoop and it puts pressure in the neck. So by keeping an eye on the chest and being mindful about your chest, it will make you upright. And then if you're upright, you're much less prone to fall. So let's do a little test. Take 2 fingers or your thumb and in the middle of the chest, just slightly higher up, push in. Give it a good push and make some circle movements and you'll feel it sore. And it feels sore because it's tight, okay? The chest is always tight, which is why we're going to really focus on stretching it today. If you stretch the chest, keep the muscles loose, they won't feel tight when you push in. In any muscle, when you push it, it should just feel soft and squidgy, and all you should feel is the pressure of your fingers or thumb or whatever you're pushing on that muscle. If you push in and it hurts and it feels sore, it's just because the muscle's tight, and we can do something about that by loosening off. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by opening your chest. And what I mean by opening the chest is just lifting up the chest cavity. And now when you open the chest, you should feel your ribs expanding a bit. So you might feel them stretching. So in between your ribs, you've got intercostal muscles, and quite often they're a bit tight and pull the ribs together. So as you stand up straight, you'll feel those little muscles in between the ribs opening up. Now, when you open the chest, the one thing you want to look out for is not to lean back too much and put pressure in your lower back. It's quite common to do this. Okay, and what we're doing there is we're hyperextending and putting too much unnecessary pressure in the back. So to stop that from happening, activate your core. So remember the core from weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. Activate your core. That will lock you in place. So the core acts as a corset around the middle and it keeps everything in place. And now we're going to open the chest. Okay, and we're just going to stand hands by the side, feet hip distance apart, soft knees, core on, and open your chest. So just lift it up and imagine the muscles from the sternum to the upper arm just opening up. And let's just try and hold that and try and keep your head, chin parallel to the floor, head up, eyes facing forward, and just hold it there. Now you might feel, you probably will actually, feel a few aches just by doing this. You might feel some aches in the neck, you might feel some aches in the upper back or even in the chest itself. Okay, and if you are feeling aches, that's just because you are not used to standing like this. We're used to slouching, and especially going through all this troubled times at the moment where we're all stressed and anxious, we're even tighter. So by asking you to stand in the correct anatomical position, it might feel awkward and stiff, but don't worry. Persevere and you'll get there. But one thing you don't want to do is overdo it. You don't want to force it. You don't want to fight it, because if you start, oh, this is too tight, and it's easy to then injure and pull the muscles. So bit by bit by bit, ease into it, especially you, Harry, you know what I'm talking about. Ease into it and open up and just hold it there. And try holding it for up to a minute and work on your breathing. Nice deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just when you're holding it for a minute, go through your checklist. Are your feet hip distance apart? Are your knees soft? Make sure you're not locking your calves. Slightly tighten your buttocks because they can help you keep it upright. Is your core on? Is my chest open? Are my eyes forward? Are my shoulders relaxed? Have I managed to get my shoulders out of orbit? A lot of people wear their shoulders as earrings through tension. Just try and pull them down a bit. You know, there's a lot to think about, a lot that we take for granted, and half the time our body is not actually doing it. So be mindful of all of that. I know it's a lot to think about, but as the weeks go on, you'll get used to it. So that's opening the chest. So that's the first thing I want you to be mindful of this coming week. The next thing is we're going to stretch the chest. And there's a few ways we can do this, and everyone's different, so I'm going to give you a few different ways. The first one is if you have got a bit of a shoulder problem or a neck problem or some discomfort in the upper body. This is a nice gentle way of doing it. And you just want to place your hands on your hips. Now try and keep your thumbs facing the same way as your fingers, because if you do it like that, you know, a lot of us have got wrist problems, carpal tunnel, that sort of thing, and it will aggravate it. So thumbs facing the same way as your fingers, straighten yourself up and just gently pull your elbows in. So you're just tucking your elbows in behind you, and you'll feel a pull here, where you'll feel a pull wherever it's tight. So it might be in the chest, it might be in the shoulders. And you pull it there. Remember, the big thing to remember is don't arch your back. So make sure those buttocks are tight and the core's on. Hold it there. Nice deep breaths, and we're going to hold that for 20 seconds. So we've done about 10. Another 10, 9, don't forget to breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And don't forget, we have Gemma sitting there waiting for any questions. So if you have questions about tight muscles you may or may not have, then please type them in and Gemma will relay them to me and we can talk about that. Now the next exercise, if that feels a bit naff, it's not good enough for you. The next exercise is where you make a fist. So you cup your hand round a fist and you do that halfway up the back. So hand there. Other hand there, cup your fist and then pull your elbows together like so. So pull in. But this one can be a bit difficult if you have got shoulder problems. So try it. If it's not for you, you know, we're going to do 3 different stretches, so one of them will work. And you pull your elbows in, and again, like the other one, you want to feel a big stretch in the chest and shoulders. And again, let's hold that for 20 seconds. We've done 10, so another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's that one. And the other alternative, which is actually the one I don't like, I much prefer this one. The other one is clasp your fingers behind your back, like so. So straight arms. If I stand side on, clasp your fingers. So this one's a little bit more involved. Feet hip distance apart. Remember, don't arch your back. Now straighten your arms by pushing your hands down to the floor. Protrude your chest. So we're going to stick the chest out without arching the back. Keep that core on. And then we're going to pull away, like so. We're going to pull away, and this is a massive stretch. So I always find this stretch is a bit too much for my body. But you might find it's the perfect one for you. So when you're doing it, try and keep the arms as straight as you can, pulling away and hold in there. And hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So they're the 3 different chest stretches. So whichever one you want, try and do that this week. And try and do it. You know, there's no limit on stretching. Do it 2 or 3 whenever you remember, 4 times a day. But the big thing with stretching is try and remember to breathe throughout, okay? Quite often we're concentrating so much on what we're doing, and I'm asking a lot of you, you know, your feet have got to be in the right position, your knees, your stomach, by the time you're thinking all of that, you forget to breathe. So when you're holding your breath, you're constricting and tightening the muscles, so it goes against what we're trying to achieve in the stretch. So make sure when you're stretching, like we did last week, nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And whilst we're on the subject of last week, so we're week 7 today, but all these videos are on this channel, the YouTube channel, so you can catch up as we go along. And remember, they're all done out of my book, Who Says Age Should Slow You Down? And if you're a Hertfordshire resident, you're entitled to a free copy. And the idea is I want you to do the exercises every day. So I want to show you that daily exercise can really improve your wellness, and in this particular case, help you walk better. So if you live in Hertfordshire, you can go into Letchworth Manor Pharmacy now. You can go into Topkins Pharmacy in Harpenden. You can go into Welwyn Garden City Central Library, or you can send me an email and I'll email it to you. So good luck with the stretches. When you hold the stretch, I forgot to say, hold the stretch for 20 seconds at a time, just to give the muscle fibres long enough to start relaxing. The whole point of a stretch is the muscles ease off, and over time, just get a little bit looser and a bit longer and a bit more relaxed, enabling you to do more. So hold those stretches for 20 seconds. If you only do it once a day, do it at the end of the day. So you've got all the tension of the day, you can just stretch it off at the end. So I'll leave you with those. So remember, keep your chest open, give it a stretch. I'll see you again on Thursday. Until then, stay well and stay MolyFit.